All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Market Prep. I hope everyone's having an amazing morning. Hopefully, you guys had an incredible weekend. Good morning, Peter. How you doing today?
Carlos, I am doing great. I had a good weekend. I didn't actually do much, but I was back to like what my normal weekend schedule is during the summer, which
Yeah.
involved cycling and pickleball and sitting in the backyard. I read an entire book in my backyard this weekend. And my wife and I are commenting, it's like the first time all summer I've actually sat in my backyard. I used to like spend all sorts of time out there, but it's been such a busy summer. Hadn't done it once. And the weather was beautiful. It was like 90 degrees and just lovely. It's sort of atypical, not very typical September weather. So how about you? What'd you do this
Yeah,
weekend?
yeah. Kids, man. Hung around with the kids. We went up to my brother's house. He's in upstate New York. He's got a little one, just 2 months. So we went up there, spent it with the family on Saturday. And yesterday we did all kinds of backyard work, man. I got all the construction. I still have tons of like stuff that I was waiting for. Okay, do I need this? Can I throw this out? So I did that yesterday. But that sounds great, man. I wish, man, with the little ones, it was funny. I was telling my wife that I was watching Napoleon. The movie's like 3 hours long. And I literally started this like 2 weeks ago. And every day I watch like half hour. Whenever I can, I watch like half hour, 35 minutes. I just can't sit there with, 3 hours straight. Not because I don't want to, just because, all the stuff with the kids and everything else going on. And I was telling my wife, man, this is so like aging us right here, watching the movie in
I
in pieces.
I remember those days, so don't worry, you'll get past it. But you know what, you won't want to be past it. I'd love to be back there where the kids are all over the place.
Listen, everyone I talk to that has kid out of the house already, it's like, oh man, you're going to enjoy it. So I tell my wife when they act up a little, because kids act up, they're not easy all the time, right? They're great, but
Yeah,
they're not
look,
easy. I tell her, listen, enjoy that. Yeah, they came to the bed at 2 in the morning. Enjoy that, because there's gonna be a time where you wish that was happening. So so we enjoy
right.
every minute. That's kind of our mentality with it.
It, it doesn't make it any less exhausting, but it's like what we always do, right? We always look back nostalgically at the things in the past, right? It's always like the years before that were always so much better, and they probably weren't that much better, but our mind makes them better. So, anyways, but
Yeah, yeah,
well, that's good.
absolutely.
Anyways, here we are. We're ready for another trading week, and what a big week it is. Not we're starting off pretty slow. Let me jump right into the economic calendar if I can, Carlos.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
but we're starting the only thing on the slate today was the Empire State Manufacturing Survey. So this is the New York manufacturers. The expectation was for a 4-point contraction. This is a relative scale. It's specific to this survey. It was a surprise number that came out significantly better than expected. They saw a lot of growth in the manufacturing sector in New York, and it was growing 11.5 points here. So that's not going to move the market really, but sort of interesting to see that we've got manufacturing increases in that survey. Nothing else is coming out this week, or I mean, not this week, today. However, what I'm finding fascinating here is that we once again see a flip-flop in the expectation of what's going to happen on Wednesday. Wednesday's the big day when the new rate decision is going to come out from the U.S. Fed. Obviously, Powell is going to tell us what the number is. Well, the computer is going to tell us what the number is, and then he's going to do his press conference and talk about it. But as we start the morning here, we can see that we're about 70-30, we'll say, right? Well, we're sort of 65-35 on a half-point cut versus a quarter-point cut. And this is once again a flip-flop from where we were last week. I don't know if you see, it's sort of small on my screen here at the bottom, but at the bottom of that screen, you can see that just on Friday, we were sitting at a 50-50 point of view. And a week ago, it was 70-30 the other way around. So this is like the fourth or fifth time it's happened in the last 3 weeks where we've gotten this flip back and forth as to whether people are thinking it's a quarter point or a half point. Now, this is making me very nervous, I have to admit. It's sort of excited too, because there could be some great trading opportunities. So I just don't know how tradable they'll be, because if it's too choppy, I don't like to trade that. But I'm sort of hoping that we just get this whipsaw of opinion we sometimes get, where we're going to get a big move in one direction and then everybody reverses course and it goes hard in the other direction. That's what I'm sort of hoping for Wednesday. But we'll have to see together. But it's fascinating that everybody thinks there's going to be a point. They just keep changing their mind as to whether it's a quarter point or a half point. So as I keep saying, and I'm going to say this until it comes out Wednesday, if anything other than those two scenarios happens, right? If we imagine if we got no cut at all, or we got a 75-point cut, neither of which I think is a likely scenario. But if that happened, the market will lose its collective mind. We will have lots of trading opportunities. So I think everybody, if you have the opportunity, even if you don't want to trade, watch the market Wednesday afternoon. I mean, how could we not? It should be interesting. Grab your popcorn. Should be some fun. So that's what we're looking forward to. That's the big thing. I don't know what's going to happen Thursday and Friday. It doesn't matter. It's like Christmas, right? You don't worry about the days after
Yeah.
Christmas. You just worry about Christmas, and then all the rest will happen. So,
Yeah.
anyways, all right. So that's the big thing coming up this week. Really, no earnings today, Carlos. So I didn't see anything that I
Mhm.
put on my list that I was watching. So we're gonna have to go to our watch list here, and hopefully we got some gappers that we can talk about.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll take a look at our gappers list and see what's moving here. I mean, talk about last week a little bit, Peter, because I thought last week, and I know you had some good days too, was an
Mm.
awesome day. So, awesome week. If you look at the spy here, every day almost was in the green, and not just by a little bit, but like a lot. Like, even the 9/11. Look at the drop in the recovery, and even higher. So, it overall market's been on a nice little rally, kind of pausing at the moment, like you said, waiting for that data. Let's see what that brings for us. And we're hoping as we get there, that we find some opportunities, because the market tends to be a little bit stagnant, waiting for that big data to come out, right? So we'll find something. We just might be limited on our options here. Let's take a look at the first one. Gapping up this morning is New Cana. New Cana is over here up 163%. Flow on this is 2 million, so very low flow for the most part. Tons of volume, 12 million shares traded, going from like $2 to 670 at the moment. So, Peter, what's the news on this? Big pop for them today.
Yeah, they published some data on one of their treatments for resistant melanoma patients. It looks positive. So, it's a typical Monday morning, biotech sort of drug announcement where they had positive top line results in a phase 2 trial. I'm actually surprised by the volume. I wouldn't have thought, I don't know, it doesn't seem like strong enough news to bring out 12 million shares of traded volume, but especially when on average they're only trading less than 1 million shares every day. So I don't know. Maybe this thing will be in play. I said this volume seems out of proportion with the news. So tough to see. And look at the daily. The daily is just so weird. I mean, we had this pop back in August where they had some other news, and then it held for like a week and a half, and then bam, dropped back down, and now we're trying to get back up into that area that had been holding in. So yeah, this is a weird stock.
Yeah, it is. I won't be watching it. That's for sure. It's not my typical type of stock to look at. So let's take a look at the next one here on the gap up. It's going to be WHLR. WHLR this morning. This is Wheeler Real Estate. I think we've seen this name before. Up 15%, 423,000 shares traded. Hard to borrow. SSR looks like. So again, another one that's not going to be on my list. The flow on this even lower. I'm showing 541,000. So very, very low flow. Peter, I'm going to skip on this. Any thoughts?
Yeah, it's a real estate trust. I don't like these REIT type opportunities. They just don't. They never trade well. The price action, the order flow, never good. I've never seen one that I've liked.
Yeah, same here. I don't think I have ever traded a real estate company. Let's go on to TNON. This is 10 on medical. This was making a lot of noise last week, if you guys remember. Popped up here a couple of times, every time sold off, but it managed to gap up higher. Today they're up 4.4, 1.4 million shares traded. Does not look like fun. I think the fun might actually be over here. Hard to borrow, so you can't short it. And the flow is we're going even lower. We went from 2 million on the first stock. The second one was 541, and this one is 442. So even lower flow Peter, I hate this even more. So garbage truck for this one. Any
Yeah.
news on this or
No,
anything
last
right
week
now?
the news was, well, like you said, they had some news and they took advantage of that news to issue a secondary. The secondary is priced well below the active price. Nothing since then. So I think this is just sort of carryover from last week's excitement. But as you said, I wouldn't pay attention to it.
Yeah. All right. Last but not least on our gappers list is going to be AA, and this is Alcoa. We know the stock very, very well. Again, another one that doesn't trade very well. I know this has some good days in the past. I know people have traded it in the past. I have not. Peter, do you like this one today? Looks pretty crappy this morning.
No, I mean, I don't usually like this. It's interesting. There was news out of Europe in the sector, some acquisition opportunities. Nothing with North American traded stocks, but I was seeing some news where there was some deals that fell apart. The this morning the news on Alcoa is that they're actually selling off. They had a Saudi mining venture that they had bought into a number of years ago. Looks like they've got the opportunity to sell it for just over a billion, about $1.1 billion, and adding the cash to their bottom line is a positive thing, but I don't think it's going to it's not going to create tradable volume throughout the day.
Yeah. All right. That's our gap up. Peter, I know you mentioned you did not have any earnings, but anything on your list gapping up that you might like today?
There's a few things gapping up, but really all the stuff I wanted to talk about is gapping down. It is interesting that a bunch of the Chinese stocks are gapping up this morning, but they're not all. Like Baba is actually down, but while Baidu and a couple others are gapping up. So I'm not sure what to make out of that sector. I didn't see any news out of China or the South China Sea this morning or over the weekend. So Carlos, yeah, not really. Nothing that's gapping up that I could talk about. Boeing is up. Maybe I could say that. I mean, not by much. The volume is pretty low. Remember, there's all bad
Yeah.
news
Yeah.
last week. I haven't heard an update. Actually, I didn't look for an update on the strike. I know that the union was not happy, but other than that, like we said before, they're amazingly resilient. Usually a company would be in a strike and the stock would drop 20%. They were down 0.5%. So I'm not sure what
Yeah.
it's Boeing.
Yeah, it is. It'll be nice to have it on the secondary. I mean, they did move well on Friday, not at the beginning of the market, but if you look at Friday's action, look at this beautiful pop here. Nice double top. I mean, that is perfect. And then a nice drop all the way back down to some 155 levels here. So a good secondary, maybe if any news breaks out, there could be some opportunities there. It might not happen today, but I think this one for the next couple of days as they figure things out could be one to keep an eye on. So BA on the secondary list. With that, friends, let's get over to our gap down list this morning.
Manfred,
First one leading the way. Yeah, go ahead.
Manfred's making a good point. Intel is up. I was going to mention the semiconductor because everything else on the semiconductor index is gapping down. Intel's the only one that's green this morning.
Yeah.
So I guess they're gapping up. If you want to talk about a gap up, they're up about 1.7%. That's on the news that they got a $3.5 billion deal with the U.S. military. So good deal for them. Looks like the military is sticking with Intel. They've been using them for a lot of their products for a long time. I guess it makes sense if you want to have continued compatibility. I'm not sure if chip compatibility is something they need, but their devices are so specific, it's quite possible. So, but anyways, that's the news on Intel and why it's gapping up when the entire rest of the sector is moving down.
All right, there you have it. Intel right now, I'm gonna put in my secondary. Again, it's got tons of volume. We'll see where this goes. I might end up moving this up. They're weird at times when it comes to the market open. All right, let's take a look here. UPST. Oh no, I first one. ITOS was the first one on deck. It is down 11%, 275,000 shares traded. Was in the green quite a bit here, and now on the other side of things. So I don't know what's causing this range in ITOS. It's not a great trading stock, Peter, but today they got some movement, obviously, as you can see here.
Yeah, over the weekend they actually had some positive trial results for lung tumors. One of their drugs was showing that it was doing a good job of reducing the size of these lung tumors. I don't know. Maybe there's something that I'm not seeing here that refutes that. But yeah, it's sort of odd that it's gapping down after what looked like positive news over the weekend. This came out on Saturday, so um, I'm not sure, Carlos.
Yeah. Okay. I don't love it. So, and that news is again just not enough to make us want to keep it on here. So we'll leave it alone. Next on the list is going to be UPST this morning, and this stock is a hit or miss. I know some people watch it and they have actually done very well. I haven't traded this in the past, maybe once or twice, but I don't think I have had any good success on it. So down 7.8 this morning, 520,000 shares traded. Anything you like on this one, Peter? I won't be putting it on my list
This
today.
used to be. This is like pre-pandemic. We used to trade this, and it was a great
Yeah,
trader at the time. But it was actually not that great of a trader throughout the pandemic and since, in my opinion. The news isn't good this morning either. I mean, it's just not tradable. Basically, it's a secondary offering. They're issuing $300 million of convertible notes out there with a purchase price on the notes of I don't see the price here, but it doesn't really matter. It's a secondary offering, and they don't trade well.
yeah. Oh, yes, not good. All right, heading down to the next one. This one might be a good one for today. It is MU. So MU down 3.2 this morning. So nice drop for them. And 540,000 shares traded. So uh, could be a good one to watch. I like the pre-market action this morning. Seems to be very, very active. And again, you're not going to get Nvidia type volumes with MU, but this could be a good one. What ends up happening a lot, Peter, and I know we say this all the time, is that when this is doing well, we'll look at like Nvidia or AMD, and those are doing almost the exact same thing, but it looks better as far as liquidity and the price action. So, what's your thoughts on MU and all semis while we're at it?
Yeah, I don't see any specific news on MU. I mean, I think it just happens to be up over the 2% mark, and that's why it's on the list. Everything else is gapping down about 1.5 to well 1 to 1.5%. And I don't really see any news in the sector. I mean, it could just be like you were saying, Carlos, after last week's interesting moves, where even on the days where they started moving down, they always ended up higher. It could just be sort of a little bit of a hangover, a pullback from that. But I don't see any news. If you guys got something, let us know, because I'd like to understand what's causing this move. But I'm not really seeing any, no regulatory changes, or I don't know, any business changes. No factories have blown up. All the normal stuff, I guess. No downgrades. I'm not sure why the sector is so depressed this morning.
Yeah. All right. So I'm gonna put MU on my main list this morning. I'm gonna be looking at also Nvidia, which obviously tons of volume already. 848, 6.4 million shares traded like usual, tons of volume, and it is down 1.7 today. So we'll look at Nvidia here, and then how's AMD looking today? AMD's actually very quiet, down, but only 216,000 shares traded. AMD has seemed lately, Peter, and you would know this more than I would. Pre-market action, like the volume is much, much lower than what it used to be, like by far, right?
Yep,
Like right now we will have
absolutely.
maybe like at least 600, 800,000, but it's a lot less now. So yeah,
Yeah,
not
it is, and
bad.
even after the open, the price action on AMD is very choppy. It is actually typically choppy. That's why a lot of people hate AMD, because they like to trade the open. And at the open, AMD is not the stock to trade. Why I always liked it is because I don't trade the open. And afterwards, then it would start to get some good moves. But even those have been dying off. I mean, like I've been saying for a few weeks now, I've been trading Nvidia a lot more, just because it gets that volume, and it's showing those consistent, predictable type moves that I like to trade. So, I'm keeping AMD out here. I'm not sure whether it's just out of nostalgia or it's still going to be doing things, but I'll let you know when it gets fun again.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. All right, let's take a look here. Let's going to look at Apple. Apple is next on the list, and we'll take a look at some of the ones you guys are mentioning over on YouTube. I know SXEXAS is one that's been thrown around quite a bit, so we'll look at that next. after we're done with this list. And keep your tickers there. We're definitely going to look at some stuff on both ends of the field here in our chat and also in our members tab. I'm sorry, in our YouTube chat. All right, let's look at Apple. Apple this morning down 2.4, man, on news that the iPhone 16 is not getting the sales they expected. Peter, what's going on? Did you
Yeah,
not
that's
order
what I was
your
going to say.
iPhone 16?
That's the news. They launched it, and so far global demand is slightly lower than expected. Carlos, did you put your order in? You said you were going to do that. They're waiting for you.
I, I I did, and me and my wife want to do it, but I did not put my order in. We want to, but it's not a rush. There's no rush for me to get it the minute it comes out. So,
Looks
you
like
know,
looks like Apple needs your help. You know.
they surely do, they surely do. But yeah, there. Like I said, there's only so much you could do with like if you just got this, for example, the 15. There's literally no reason at all to upgrade to this phone, none whatsoever. Unless you're a professional that needs to test out this product and do a open review on YouTube, there's like no reason whatsoever for you to get this phone, unless you cracked it or broke it. So yeah, I just don't know. But they're in play for us, guys. 1.3 million shares traded down 2.4. Really, really like this one today, so we'll keep an eye on that one. All right, heading down the list, we'll take a look at some more just appear here. ASTS, which we seen in the past, just making it above 200,000 here, down 3.3. I don't think it's really in play. Looks actually a little bit garbage like there. Let's take a look at MSTR. There, roll the trucks on that. MSTR. No, I don't like this one. I think we have better semis to look at, so we'll skip on that one. We looked at Apple. Oh yes, how about Mara and all the Bitcoin stuff? They were moving on Friday quite a bit. Today they are slightly down this morning, 2%, 505,000. Again, not much movement, but they are doing something here this morning. Peter, you gonna say something?
No, I was just sighing on Bitcoin. I was at a pickleball tournament on Saturday, and there was a young kid playing there who had like a Bitcoin necklace, with like the Bitcoin symbol on it. And I'm like, "Oh, do you trade crypto?" And he's like, "What do you mean?" I'm like, "Well, you got the crypto Bitcoin." He's like, "Oh, no, I don't know. It's just a necklace." So I thought it was funny that this 20 something was wearing it. He had no idea that the symbol was the Bitcoin symbol on his necklace. I'm like, okay, I'm not sure what that means. Does that mean it's just got into popular culture where it's just it's trendy? But I don't know. Anyways, I wasn't sure what to take of that, but or he
You
didn't want
always
to
got
talk
to
to me.
know what
Then
you're
it could be
wearing.
that too.
Yeah.
It could be that too.
Yeah, yeah, that or just I guess just not caring about what you have on. Got to know what you're wearing. Got to know what it means. You want to make sure it's not nothing bad. I remember a quick story here since we're ahead of time. When we first got to this country, my mom knew no English whatsoever. She threw on this shirt that has some letters on it that we didn't know English. We didn't have no idea what it is. I was too young to remember. Um, but a friend of hers that was here for some time translated it, and it said, "Kiss my I'm going on vacation." And she would wear this shirt casually in the street. Now, if you know my mom, a very religious, old fashioned woman, had no idea what these letters say. It's just, oh man, good times, good times.
There are
Um,
pictures of those all the
all right.
time of people in China or parts of Asia where they're wearing shirts and it's clear they have no idea what it says. Right? They're just sort of trendy shirts. They're English
Yeah,
English
yeah,
writing on it, and you're like, that is so inappropriate. I'm certain you don't know what that what that says.
yeah, yeah.
Anyway.
Absolutely, man. It happens. All right, let's
That's all right. I mean,
and yes.
we do it the other way, right, Carlos? Just to expand on your
Mhm.
thought. I mean, how many times have you seen someone with a tattoo with some Chinese characters on it, and they have no idea what they actually inked on their own body? When you say, "Do you know what that
Yeah.
means?" Like you actually just inked the symbol for book or something, and they're like, "No, it's not. It means love." You're like, "No, it's book," or I don't know.
Yeah,
It's just always. So I guess
absolutely. It happens.
we we always think things from other cultures sometimes are cool, but careful what decisions you make when you don't understand what you're doing.
Yep, absolutely. Um, All right, guys, back to this list. So far, MU, NVIDIA, Apple on deck. And if I look at our gappers list, we kind of went through everything. We left off with Mara, but Mara, it could be a good possible if we get something going. But as we know, Bitcoin tends to do some really good moves during the weekend. A weekend has passed now, and I'm not seeing anything overly exciting as far as this weekend came. We had a couple of good days in last week. We got some bit of a moves here, but for the most part, I don't expect anything great. So just on the secondary for now. Let's get to you guys. Let's look at this one because you guys been throwing that out quite a bit. As EXAS SX
Yeah.
science. Um,
Yeah.
okay, what's the news on this? Because I don't see a whole lot on here. I, I,
This one shows up because it gets these big. If you look back at the daily, it'll get these days with these big random volume spikes. So it'll show up occasionally. See how you just get these random days, like especially at the beginning of the month, where it just gets volume. And I'm not sure what
yeah.
the trading. I'm not sure what's going on. Like I have to assume that it's computer traded for some reason, and because of that, it's just getting these bumps of volumes on some signal or on a schedule or something. Because there's never any news on it. I don't see any news. I mean, they do have news today that they unveiled the results from their cancer algorithm trial, but I don't know. It doesn't seem like they didn't solve anything. They just I
Yeah,
don't know.
releasing is good, but what are the results? I think that's more importantly.
Well, I mean,
Did
basically,
they figure
they've got
something
a
out?
Exact Bioscience has a colorectal cancer screening test algorithm that showed 90% accuracy. I'm like, I don't like I have no context to know is that good or bad. If it's an algorithm, why wouldn't I expect 99.9% accuracy? I don't know, but it was only a study of like 3,000 blood samples across 20,000 participants. So the more I'm looking at the numbers, the more I'm thinking that doesn't sound impressive, right? It's just not enough to extrapolate, I would think. But whatever.
Yeah,
Anyways, it's
we'll have
moving.
to wait
Look,
for yeah.
yeah. Just look at the price action, Carlos. This chart here tells me all I need to know. It's horrible price action this
Yeah,
morning. I'm not going anywhere near it.
yeah, it looks pretty bad. Like you said, they have their spikes here. Yeah, it looks a little garbage here right now. They have their spikes here, but we have to wait for the market open to see if this news even means something for the masses. For us right now, for me and Peter, it's not meaning a whole lot. So, but NC Trader, yeah, we'll have to wait for the stuff to come in here and see what the market actually thinks about it. All right, let's take a look. What else, friends? Let's take a look here in our chats. What do you guys like this morning? Spies in the queues, very low volume. Yeah, it's a slow start to this Monday. You could tell that by our gappers list here. So again, not a lot looking blockbuster-ish, but we'll find something. We always do, and we did last week. And if you remember last week, guys, there's a couple of days where the watch list was very, very short. I'm talking about 4, 3 tickers, right? And we still had probably one of the best weeks in a long time. So, we'll
Mhm.
have to wait and see how the market reacts when that big volume comes in. All right, right now, MU, NVIDIA, and Apple on the list. Intel, I'm going to move Intel up because we have the space for it. So we'll move Intel up here. I am not seeing many tickets from you guys. Again, a little bit quiet today. We did look at SX. There was another one on here. Oh, yes, CNTL. One was mentioned earlier. CNTL. More of a penny stock. This is probably why it's not making our list. It is a 41%. So again, it just doesn't fit my criteria as far as trading. If you're a penny stock trader, lower price trader, I bet the flow on this is really low. This could be one to look at. Centalis Pharmaceuticals. Zentalis, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. So take a look at that one. It won't be on my list. Just it doesn't match what I'm looking to do, but it is in
Hell,
play. There's no question. Um, SM SMMT. We saw this last week being active,
Summit,
and you can
yeah.
see here, Summit Therapeutics is on a tear all last week, all the way from started, at 12, went from 14 to now hitting as high as 34. But more importantly, let's go back and look at how there is actually traded because I have not looked at this. So Friday looked very good. This looks nice. Good volume there on the 5 minute. Let's take a look. Thursday also decent. When oh, this was ugly here, but not a bad start. It looks like it's been having some really interesting and good days. At least the last two trading days. Peter, have you had any look at this over the
Nope.
last week or so?
No, I admit I didn't watch it.
Yeah. Same here. I did not watch it. Watched it now. So it has been in play. I'm surprised how much it has moved over the last couple of days. So that is nice. But if you guys like him and put it on your list, I'm gonna put it in a secondary. I think it could be worth taking a look at SMMT.
MMT.
So I'll put that on here, and could be worth as a secondary on this one. All right. What else we have? Intel. Yes, Intel's good. Puppet Master. I have that on my list here. Is 4 million shares traded, 2.5. Someone mentioned this earlier. I think Peter took it off the chat room there from someone. So that is good. UPST. I looked at it. It doesn't look great. Let's take a look at the other two you're mentioning here. AAP. No, I'm sorry. App. APP. No, 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 no. What? No. Yeah, I see what you're looking at. The daily. You had a very nice run here the last couple of days. 87, 95, 95 to 105, 105 to 112 on Friday. So it's been on a tear. But I trade a stock like these, man. It's great if you get caught on the right side of things. You can make a lot of money very easily. Take a couple of shares, you're up $10. Is awesome. I've done that before, but I also lost in stocks like these, and that is not fun. So very hard to predict a strategy or a pattern when you're not getting volume at all on the intraday. So that's my reason for staying away from it. It depends on your strategy and your trade management. For me, it's just it won't work. Peter, I know kind of the way you trade. Does something like this with no volume, do you like that, or do you avoid these? Do you have a strategy that works for that?
No, absolutely avoid them. They just don't work with how I trade because I'm looking for consistent order flow, right? That's how the patterns that I trade and the setups work. So without the order flow, it just doesn't work for me. And this is one that I have looked at this one in the past. It's also I don't know whether it's algo traded. It's sort of on the verge of looking sort of algo-ish. Like when you look at the actual price action, you get a lot of these trades where it'll trade within a range or like so tight that it's only trading like within the spread, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And whenever it trades within the spread, absolutely avoid it.
Yeah, and you got to be careful too. When you have less volume, you tend to get this wide spread, which for example, for me, my stops are pretty close. They're not like far out. Like if I'm going long here, for example, we got a little bit of time here based on our list. If I'm going long here for a breakout, you know, my stop needs to be, let's say, slightly below VWAP. A stock like this, just with the spread, can be that much, right? And then stop you out, even though you were correct in your position, right? So that's one of the issues I see more with these stocks that have low volume and such a wide spread at times. Not sure if this one does. I've never watched it personally, but I run into that issue a lot with stocks that don't get heavy volume, that have a tight spread. So be careful on that. Be on the lookout for that as well. All right, friends. I think
The
that covers. Yeah, go ahead.
One way you can tell whether it's well, it just changed actually. The bid just changed, but I was just looking at the bid and ask price. If you look at the last trade that was on APP, I said it just changed, but when a stock trades pre-market and the last sale was at $111.0001. Now I said that changed because we just got another order in, but like that's
Mhm.
a price at which that's not a human trading that, right? As soon as you're trading in a hundredth of a penny, right? None of us are putting in,
Yeah,
or we can't. We don't have the tools for that. That's a computer trading with another computer. So again, it's just that's
yeah,
the type of stuff I look for that gives me a warning to say I don't want to compete against computers. I can't. I want to trade against a good combination of computers and humans. That's my sweet spot.
yeah. Agreed. Um, all right, let's take a look here at one more VRAX, and then we'll head over to our community events coming up for the next 2 weeks. VRAX this morning, it is up 36%, almost 37, 5.4 million shares traded. We have looked at this in the past. I see I have some levels here. I don't remember when we did that, but yeah, it is in play lower price stocks. So again, it's just I stay away from these. My strategy, the way I trade, just does not do well on stocks like this one. So I won't be watching it. But if you do like it, take a look at it. It's got some good volume, up 40% almost. You know what? Maybe could be our low flow. Is this a low flow? I'm assuming it is. Could be a
Uh,
risky stock of the day.
Yeah,
We'll put it here.
I only see 4 million shares in the float. They do have
Okay.
news this morning. They looks like they got a new deal or extended a deal for their Mpox, formerly known as monkeypox, detection kits. So it's, I guess, good news for them, right? That they got this contract to distribute these detection kits in countries in the Gulf Cooperation Council. So this would be, they previously had a deal with Greece and Cyprus. Now they've got the ability to distribute it throughout Europe, wherever this Gulf Cooperative Council operates. So no indication as to what volume that's going to bring to them, but the news of the deal is what popped it up.
Yeah. All right, there it is. Friends, let's head over to our community events and announcements. You can always check what's happening by heading over to barebootraders.com. And at the top bar, you're going to see webinars. You click on this, and you can always keep up to date with what's happening with the next 2 weeks, who we have on board, what moderators are coming in, what guest speakers we're having for the week, and you can join the party. So if I would click on it myself, that would probably be smart. There we
Can
go.
I say,
There it is.
Carlos,
So,
I love the nice space glow you've got going on behind you. I got to get a better
you like that?
Yeah.
Thank you, man.
You're,
I try to put some stuff on here, and it's funny. I stole a plant from my wife's one of my wife's room, and I put it here. Like I have a little background because you say, "Hey, it looks so plain." So I stole the plant. I
yeah.
put it back here. As soon as she got to that room, she's like, "Where's my plant?" I'm like, "Oh, it's in the bag." I came in like over the weekend. It was right back where she took it right away. She's like, "No, that's not happening. Get your own stuff." So I'll get some stuff to make this look somewhat decent. But yeah. All
Well,
right, excellent,
it's
friends.
better than my background. I got a chair with like a pile of stuff on it, and I've got a messy bookshelf. And anyways, yours at least looks clean. So
For now.
all right,
For now. Let's see if it stays that way.
yeah. Let's talk about, as you said, what's happening in the Bearable Trading chat room over the next 2 weeks. It's Monday today, start of a new trading week, and we look forward to that opportunity, which means that we get to welcome all the new members who would have joined over the weekend or late last week. If you want to sort of get oriented and familiar with the Bearable Trading community, or you just want a refresher, then today is the day to do that. We have 2 opportunities for you. Starting at noon, where Brendan's going to talk about the DAS platform. Not everybody uses that, nor do you have to. But if you do, it's good to get tips on how it can work. It's got so much functionality, it can be hard to navigate your way around. And it's a very effective trading platform, but it's not easy to figure out. So he can help you with that, help you understand the configuration, how you can set things up, give you some hints, I guess, on what you could do differently to take advantage of it. So check that out. That's at noon today. And then Carlos takes over tonight. These are available to all members, no matter what your membership level is, by the way. The onboarding class, which happens at 8 p.m., it's an orientation session, tells you all you can get out of your Bearable Trading membership, where everything sits, and how to find it all. So it's a good opportunity. Even if you just have trading questions about strategies, what should I do? How do I get started? Where do I even start? Carlos can help you with that. That's at 8 o'clock tonight. Tuesday, we talk strategy, and we're looking forward to this Tuesday's session. Tuesday, we are going to be talking with our tax leaders. So this is Joey and Dave. We're going to talk about tax knowledge for U.S.-based day traders. Now, this is U.S. tax rules, so just be careful. If you're operating from a different country, then the rules are going to be different for you. We have a lot of people in the U.S., of course, and you want to know, how do I manage it? We will avoid those questions because we are not tax experts. So that's why we're bringing them to you. So that'll be at 5 o'clock, earlier time on Tuesday. So keep that in mind. Tuesday, it's going to be at 5 o'clock with Joey and Dave for the tax webinar. And then next week, Mike's taking over, talking about how you can leverage the scanners to manage the Hive day break. He and John, for example, trade this regularly, so it'll be good information. He's going to tell you how does he do it, what does he look for, how does he use those scanners to help him keep on top of all that is moving in the market. That'll be next week, the 24th of September at 8 p.m. Wednesday psychology. This Wednesday, we've got another psychology webinar for you. And that one is being led by Randy Howell, who's going to talk about how to crack the secret code for a disciplined mind. We talk about the importance of trading psychology all the time. Randy's going to dig in on that and sort of give you some ideas of how you can manage it. You'd think it'd be easy, right? You think you have control of yourself until you start trading. And then, frankly, trading has a way of bringing out all of your weaknesses. And anybody that's traded for a while knows exactly what I'm talking about. It's a tough thing, right? It's never you against the market. It's you versus you. It's about managing your own mind. So Randy's going to help us with that with his discipline webinar on Wednesday at 8 p.m. And then once again, Mike, it's next week is all about Mike. Mike's going to be delivering his webinar on the trader's edge on how to evaluate and improve your discipline. So we're going to learn about the discipline and how to identify it. And then next week, Mike's going to tell us how to get better at managing it. So good 1-2 there on the psychology series. Thursdays, we always do our mentorship sessions. We have 4 sessions for you every Thursday. John is at 11. Jared and Megan talk options at 2. Lenny's at 4. And then Thor closes out the day with his session at 8 p.m. So that is the same this week as it is next week, as it was last week, and will be the week after. But they're great sessions and always well attended. So hopefully you'll put those in your calendar. All right, that's what we got coming up in the chat room. If you wanted to join us in the chat room for those webinars or just to be part of the conversation, which happens all day, the chat room's always open from about 7:30 in the morning to about 5:30 at night. We trade every hour, every minute that the market is open. You can join us. We've got a number of membership options from the intro, which just gives you a taste of what there is and what you can take advantage of for 1 week. By the way, if you're listening right now on YouTube, you can get that for just $1. That $1 deal is still happening. For anybody that joins on our website, it's $39. But for you guys, it's $1. Go to bearbulltraders.com/YouTube and you can get that $1 deal. Exactly as you see on the screen. It's just $1 though. The basic early monthly give you then longer term access, and the elite annual is your best deal. Of course, it's heavily discounted. 1-year membership gives you access to all of the courses and material we talk about here in the chat room. So hopefully you consider that and join us soon. Out there on YouTube, we appreciate you listening. Give us a thumbs up and a like. It helps. Subscribe to the channel, then you'll know when new things are happening. It helps with the growth of the channel. It helps others be aware of what we're doing here. So we really appreciate it. And Carlos, why don't I see the time here, so why don't I give it back to you to set some levels, and then I can let everybody know what our moderators are looking at.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Let's jump right in. Looking at the SPY this morning. 1 second, guys. Look at the SPY this morning. Just seeing how things are. Pretty flat right now. And just hoping this is not an indication of what is to come for today and the entire week until the big information. So pretty flat at the moment. My list right now made up of MU, which made a new low just now. MU looks very active today. Today could be their day where they give us some really great opportunities. So MU is on there. We have NVIDIA also heading towards the lows. Apple trying to, just did made a new low right on there. So losing some ground. And then we have Intel. It's the only one that's green on my list today. So should be interesting to look at that one. And then we have BA and Mar and some other ones towards the bottom here. All right, let's start with MU. As we see here, highs and lows of the last 2 trading days are doing a pretty good job because we've been stuck on MU. If you look at this range, it's been just stuck here between, what is this, 90, 87 down to 84, 80, 83, 91 looks like. So back and forth between that range, with the main level being this one, 87, 71, which we're testing right now. So if we were to drop below that, we have this range down here at around 84. So, but before we get to that, I think this level is important because look how many days you have opening and closing right around here, and also slamming into that. So 86.23 is going to be on my list. And also on the way up here, before we get to the previous day close, we also have a couple of days closing and opening right around 89.68. So I'm going to mark that there too. Now, so that's inside all of this bigger range that we kind of been stuck in for a while, all September, really, guys. We've just been stuck in this range. So if we were to break out of this, I think it's going to take a lot to do that for MU, especially with so much support that you're seeing here. If we were to break out towards the top, we're looking at 93.69. So we'll slam on there. And then if we go over to the left, last time we were below that 83.71, is going to be February. So if we look right on here, right around 83.41 is a good level. The big level is this one here, this 82.26. Now that's a stretch when we're sitting here at 87. But we are ready just in case. So that's the MU there, guys. A lot of movement right now. Volume keeps climbing on this one. So looking very, very good this morning. NVIDIA is always looking great. Now down 2% after a great rally over the last week. This morning, the low of the pre-market sitting at 116.82. We are down almost 2% this morning. Below that, we're looking at 113.43, and lower than that, we have 109.35. You can see on the daily how much flirting is going on at that 109.35. We definitely want to have that down here. Even if you go back into August, early August, same thing. That 109.35 has a lot of touches on there as well. Towards the top, guys, above the price action, highs and lows for the last 2 trading days. Previous day closes on here. I don't think you need to add anything else. There's just tons of information up there when it comes to NVIDIA. Heading over to Apple. Apple losing some ground here. Again, I gotta pre-order my iPhone to help these guys out. That's gonna be at least 2 phones for me and my wife. Let's see if we can get them going. It is down low of the pre-market 216.54, and you can see the support you're getting there. But I gotta say, it looks rather weak. Let's see if it can bounce from that. That has been an area where has seen a lot of support. Actually, look at Apple here again. Back in this would have been May now. Yeah, back in July. Excuse me, back in July. You can see here a lot of support around that as well. So you definitely want to have that low of the pre-market down there. Towards the top, highs and lows for the last 2 trading days, it kind of covering the high of the pre-market as well. So I'm not going to mark that individually. And then towards the bottom here, we do have a level at 213.64, and all the way down here, 210. I mean, I don't think we'll get there, but unless we have a complete market disaster, 210.08 just in case. And then towards the top here, big level if we are able to make it to the green at 226.71. Here's Intel. So Intel towards the bottom, a lot of support, highs and lows for the last 2 trading days. This stock's got good volume, 4.3 million shares traded. We are up 2.1. Not the easiest stock to trade, but it's the only stock that's in my green list this morning, off the main list, right off this list here that I have here. MU, NVIDIA, Apple, and Intel is the only one in the green, so should be interesting. High of the pre-market 2104. In the middle of that, we do have a lot of touches around 2054. And right where the price action is sitting at now, you can see here, this is also a good level of support and resistance. So 2005 is a good one there as well. Above high of the pre-market, 2170, and all the way up here, 2213. So that looks really good. All right, let's see what's going on here, friends. I think that covers it, right? MU, NVIDIA, Apple, and Intel. Let's see what our moderators are looking at, Peter. And we'll get ready for the market open.
Yeah, our moderators have pretty common list today, although there's a couple of sort of weird ones, or at least ones that we hadn't talked about out there. I'm going to start with Lenny, who's watching a whole bunch of stuff, including, of course, MU and Apple and Intel, and then Z, how anyways, depending where you're at, it could be Z or Z. Zillow Group, anyways, is what he's watching. And Upstart, Nvidia, and Tesla. Thor's watching Tesla, Apple, Nvidia, and then the indices, the SPYs and the Qs. I'm going to be watching primarily, I think I'm going to stick to the basics with AMD, Nvidia, and then we'll see how Apple reacts to the lower iPhone sales. And then on my secondary, I'm going to keep an eye on Boeing, despite the fact I don't like it, and then Tesla and Intel. Megan's keeping it very tight with Nvidia and Mara. Pierre is going to be watching Amazon, Tesla, Nvidia, and Mara. Phil is going to be watching Nvidia, Apple, Tesla, and AMD. We do have a surprise IPO for a Monday. It says that this Kappa is supposed to be coming out. Don't normally get IPOs on a Monday, but we'll see if this thing actually opens. I'm a little skeptical, but I'll let you know if it does. And Phil is in with his list with, did I mention Phil's list? I can't remember, but Nvidia, Apple, Tesla, and AMD for Phil. That's all we got this morning. We don't have Brian in here yet. Andrew is climbing a mountain. By the way, if you guys don't get his newsletter, then you may not know. You can actually follow Andrew. It's sort of cool. He's got, he's carrying around a live GPS now. There you go. He's at the Choyu base camp, and I said he's got this GPS where you can actually sort of track where he is on the mountain, like not just like generally, like very specifically where he is on the mountain. And I guess send him limited. He's got like limited data and messages if you really want to do. So if you want to send Andrew some encouragement as he heads up into what's the so-called death zone, it's always good. I'm sure he always appreciates everybody's messages. So feel free to do that. You can get that on the newsletter or check his social media. You even posted it there, so you can send him some messages of support. So that's it. We wish him well. I mean, I want to see him back safe and sound as always. It always makes us nervous here when he goes off and does these things because, well, you quite literally never know when he's going to get back or if. But, he's not going to be in trouble. Everything's going to be fine. Right?
Yeah,
he's not allowed to.
absolutely.
We've told him he's not allowed to get into trouble because he has made like no plans for us. So, it's like having an older brother that just does wild and reckless things, right? Every time he goes out there, he's just like, oh, come on, man. Again? So,
yeah.
Anyway.
Friends, we are set. We're set here again, hoping for a really good start to the market, whether it's up or down. MU, Nvidia, Apple, Intel. The Moderator's list is made up of a lot of the usual suspects, as Peter went through that there. So again, just kind of wait and see. Except for Lenny, Lenny's got to throw like 20 different tickers here. He's got everything under the sun there. But we saw Lenny trading live. Was it Friday? So looking forward to who's trading live today, Peter, by the way. It's Brian and
it'll be Lenny again.
It should be Lenny.
Oh, Lenny. Okay, so we get to see Lenny again.
Yep.
Awesome. All right.
Yeah,
very, very
he's
good.
doing a few days in a row, just so if you like his trading, you get a feel for how he trades. So everybody's in for a few days each. That was the intent. So
yeah, you can get a feel of how someone trades for one day. Because I traded one day before live, and it's like I had a really good day, and that's not how it is every time. We have a bad day, that's not how it is every time. When you have a stretch, you get a nice sense of how somebody trades and their style. All right, excellent. Friends, we'll wait for Lenny and Brian to hop on here. We're good to go. A SPY right now, again, just kind of flat, waiting to see what's next. Everything in my stock, in my watch list is red. MU, NVIDIA, Apple, and only Intel in the green, and SMMT, which has been a monster over the last couple of weeks. But again, I think I have that more for entertainment purposes other than watching it. BA is making a new low, down almost 0.5% here. So this will be interesting when the heavy volume comes in. And for those risky players, VRAX is one to look out for this morning. Low flow stock that's in play. All right, excellent.
Hey,
I see
good morning.
Lenny. Good morning.
Hey, Lenny. Morning.
Hey. Awesome.
We have a couple new lists. Brian is out there. He got his watch list in. He's watching Tesla, Apple, AMD, and NVIDIA. So sticking to some of the classics, I'll say. We'll see. Brian usually likes to throw in some of the weird stuff, but it doesn't look like he's doing that this morning. And then Mike is keeping it tight here, just like Megan, but he's watching NVIDIA and Tesla. So Tesla might be interesting. I mean, Tesla, I don't know. Tesla, you just never know when it's going to move. It has always like news of Elon doing something funny or some car getting into trouble. I love watching the news in Tesla, but it doesn't usually result in stock price movement. So we'll see what happens today. I mean, like we said, right? Big news event is coming on Wednesday. So for those that joined late, just a reminder, right? The market is going to be waiting for this Wednesday rate announcement. Now, everybody's expecting to be a rate cut announcement. The debate is just over how much of a cut. Is it going to be a 1/4 point or a 1/2 point? Again, if the Fed decides to do anything different than a 1/2 or a 1/4 point, it's going to be chaos in the streets, but nobody expects that to happen. It's just interesting how everybody's jumping between those two numbers. So we'll see what happens. But Monday, Tuesday, today, and tomorrow might be a little quieter in terms of volume and price action as everybody sort of sits and waits for that. So don't be surprised if that happens. Be patient, right? Don't force any trades. You'll get your chance. Just don't jump in, because like Friday, if you remember, Friday was pretty choppy in a lot of stuff. If you were watching the right thing, it moved great. But if you weren't, then you were just watching chop. So don't be afraid to sit and say, this looks horrible, right? It's not setting up for me. Wait it out. All right. With that, Lenny, how about you, man? How are you feeling?
Peter, before we hop off, Peter.
Oh,
Hey, hold on, Peter. Before we hop off to Lenny, so here's Andrew. He says, right, he's got 4G, which is great where he's at. Um, Peter, if I die, you can have my Lamborghini. I never
Well,
got to drive it, so uh, I
I'm
mean,
not
YouTube
sure.
chat
yeah,
is legally binding.
I think he just cursed me because if I recall, he just put a deposit down. There's no insurance, so I'd have to pay the balance and figure out how to ship this thing from BC with no insurance to Ontario. So, thanks
yeah.
a lot.
So instead of you saying, "Man, I hope something happens," you're gonna be begging and praying that Andrew comes back, so you're not stuck
I
with that
mean,
nasty payment.
I was hoping that anyways, but now it just gives me extra reason to to want to make it through because I
Choose
don't
your
want
words
this
carefully, right?
danger of a car. No, I'm kidding.
No, no, we wish Andrew all the best and be safe out there, man. It's we want him back in one piece. Um, Friends, all right. I see Lenny. I see Brian with his neon sign looking awesome. All right, we'll send it over to you guys. Have a great trading day. Remember what Peter said again. Just take it easy. Let's see what happens, and there'll be opportunities for us for sure. Take care, guys. Trade safe.
Trade safe, trade smart.
Thank you, Carlos.
Hey,
Thank you, Peter.
thank you
Hey,
guys.
Brian.
Hey, good morning. Yeah, good morning, everybody. Pre-sales on Apple's new iPhone sounds a little lame. That's why we're trading down here this morning. So that's in play.
I think Apple looks pretty
We'll
interesting
see how
today,
that trades.
for sure.
Yeah. Other than that, probably as Peter and Carlos probably already mentioned, we've got obviously the much anticipated event on Wednesday afternoon. And so we will be covering that live on YouTube as well. But the odds are looking stronger and stronger for that half point that everybody is expecting, seems to be expecting now.
Yes, indeed.
Also, just to
Lenny,
interrupt, we do plan to live stream the Fed rate decision and the press conference on Wednesday.
right?
That's great. That will be 2 p.m., right? On Wednesday?
We're going to start at 1:45 p.m., just before the
1:45,
2 p.m.
yes. Makes sense. Yeah, that's
All
going to
right.
be the thing this week. Apple showing some increasing volatility right now. Candle becoming a little bit bigger. So yeah, looking forward to today,
Yeah,
Brian.
Tesla's
What
dropping.
what do you find
Nvidia's
interesting?
dropping. AMD's going the other way.
AMD doing its own thing
Yep,
compared to the rest of the
seems to be.
semiconductors, like often.
So this morning we've got 63% Fed futures calling it calling a half point rate cut instead of quarter point, 37%. So really strong move to this half point. So market's going to be disappointed if we don't get this.
Yes.
Is what I'm guessing, but we'll see. We'll see if that changes at all in the next 48 hours. So interesting.
Did they
But
hint on
it's,
anything on the Fed? I don't really think so, right? They didn't give any clue about what they're going to do. Of course, they said they're going to
No, yeah, they're not
gonna
going
do
to.
something.
So it's. So I'm just looking at Tesla's quite volatile this morning, up and down quite a bit. Nvidia's got some few bids to the downside here. There's nothing to the
trading
upside.
so well
So
this year.
Nvidia's book is pretty bullish here, or pretty bearish.
There's been quite a sell-off also in Nvidia in the pre-market. Let's see how it will develop. I think Nvidia and Tesla have been great traders all year long. So let's see. I almost have them standard every day as a default on my watch list. So let's see what they're gonna do today again.
We shall see. So here we go.
Good luck, everyone.
NVIDIA dropping. Let's just see.
Spy strong out the gate.
It's up here.
Apple actually weak in the first minute. Lots of shares traded, 2.5 million. So Q's opening weak, the first 30 seconds. At the low currently. I'm just scrolling. See if I can find anything. Apple retesting again. The open price.
Just watching Apple. Kind of looks interesting.
Yeah, just been retesting the pre-market low. Now it's fighting there.
Yeah. Just going to see what it does here. This could be.
First minute. Looking for a short?
Q. Yeah, I was looking for a short maybe. Okay. So I'm not short yet. Just waiting. Oh, wow. AMD is ripping. What the heck? Okay, I am short Apple, 216. See what it does here.
It's interesting, like now how it fell again below the pre-market low.
Let's see if it see what it does here.
There's definitely volume. I think it looks interesting.
NVIDIA might pop up here.
Yeah, Apple going. Apple was a nice trade.
Yeah.
Increasing R vol as well in Apple.
Just covered some at 215.38. AMD or NVIDIA's rolling over. God, AMD was so strong right at the open. Did you see that? Wow, Tesla's really dropping here now. Jeez. Kind of in the wrong short here, obviously. Here we go. Looking for a break at 215 here on Apple. Here we go. Covering some more 214.80.
I'm short as well, Apple.
Yeah, covering some more 214.50.
That was pretty beautiful price action.
Yeah, a nice classic rising devil trade. It's one of my favorite trades. Ooh, Tesla's getting slammed here too. NVIDIA's getting hit. Here we go. Got 214 filled. Quick dip below there.
Took a small partial on Apple. Looking for another small move down. So what else do we have?
Tesla's bouncing.
Upset also looking pretty weak, but it's a little bit extended now. I like the price action of Upstart, but now it's a little bit too extended. I liked also the increasing volume in the fourth candle, but I don't think it's an entry right now.
Still some more, some more orders there at 213. Into the 213s, I should say. On Apple, but got an order built at 215. Might bounce back here.
Might be some
Still
bottoming right now.
Still a lot of orders in under 214.
I think it should be capable of making another move. Just of course the bottoming now is not that pretty.
Yeah. Wow, that was quite the drop on the Qs at the open.
Also SPY going down. Tesla seems to be the weakest of the tech names, at least that I've seen.
Yeah, Tesla's down at S6, which is interesting.
Apple at an interesting point as well. If it's going to be a pullback or the bottoming.
And I'm just still looking for this next hopefully we get another leg lower here on Apple.
Yeah, I think it should be. The probabilities are a little bit higher for another move down.
Still a seller there at 214.50. Let's see if there is an order building at 215. We might go up and trade and there's some liquidity building around this level now, both on the top and the bottom side. So
yeah, I definitely like the decreasing volume getting smaller. There's some selling wicks from the top. However, there's definitely some bottoming forming. So it's kind of a fight between the buyers and the sellers.
Like I said, I think we're going to 215. Here we go. Yeah, had to take those orders. So I've added back to my short at 215.11. Qs and SPY kind of Qs bounced back there. AMD is really wiki. NVIDIA came bouncing back.
Intel looks actually made a move up from the open.
Intel had some news about some funding.
A big order from the military, I believe, $3.5 billion. But I don't really like the candles here in Intel. Even though it could be interesting perhaps. There's some elevated volume, elevated R-vol. Gapped up from the daily chart. I do not see an entry right now in Intel, but Intel could be interesting. Moving up, pullback, moving up, pullback. Good volume. So
Just covered some of that short at 214.80. I'm not. There's some orders that are showing up here around 215 again, so I'm not 100% confident we're going to drop some more here. So that's why I just covered that. We might even start to pop here, but there is really not a lot of orders to the upside, so we'll see. AMD just dropped again. AMD's all over the place.
yeah, Upstart also weak. It made a second leg. They also had news of another offering, or they're giving out some notes. But I don't think there's an entry right now in Upstart. It's for the second leg. Second leg already been done now, so at least should wait for a nice pullback.
Apple sort of a rejection at the VWAP. Still sitting with some of my original position, but you know what? I'm thinking of getting out of it.
Yeah, I think it's also going to be relevant. Is SPY now going to make a new low of the day or not? And the Qs were they're going to make a new L1, like a new go for the second leg.
No.
So Apple still forming the range.
Yeah, it's
SPY
still
holding
sitting
the
in a
bottom.
range here. This 215 level. Again, I kind of feel like we might even pop here.
I think perhaps Upstart
I'm
would
going to
be
get out of the
interesting
rest
for
of it.
another leg, no?
I'm out of the rest of
You went
Apple
out?
here. Yeah, just covered the rest of the short. I went 215.30, so still profitable.
Very
And there were
nice.
some better shorts though than Apple, but anyway.
Can't catch them all, right?
No,
Only have two pair of eyes.
yeah,
Two pair of
Tesla.
eyes.
Man, Tesla just got slammed at the open. Hopefully, some people caught Tesla. Oracle's running up again. Wow.
So the big sell of last Friday in Oracle
Yeah.
is getting bought up again a little bit.
Oracle's coming up to R4, which typically an area where our buddy Thor would short it.
Yeah, this price actually looks pretty strong, right? Opening range, inside candle, breakout.
Yeah, it's an inside candle right now. Qs are bouncing back. SPY's bouncing back a bit.
I was able to catch an Apple one partial, and then I went
Nice.
out to break even in minute 9:36.
Brian,
Intel could make another move up, but I don't like the big candle, the big red candle at 9:42. Yeah, sorry, Brent.
sorry
Go
to
ahead.
interrupt. Are you able to share your screen in the chat room?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I can do that. Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm also sharing my
Sorry
screen,
about
correct?
Yep, I see yours, Lenny.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah. Thanks for the reminder.
No worries. People just like seeing your bookmark.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm just watching Apple and Bookmap right now. Nice bounce back on NVIDIA. Qs came back up, hit the VWAP, and did a little bit of a rejection here. So let's see where it goes. Tesla's making a move through the VWAP as well. Seem to be getting a bounce back on some of our sellers, the initial sellers in the morning here. Bit of a V reversal off Tesla, so not an easy one to catch. Sort of same with NVIDIA.
I'm looking at Oracle for perhaps a continuation setup, but I do not see an entry.
Oracle,
I do not see a pattern.
No, but just be careful. Oracle's at R4 level, so
Yes.
it's typically an area where you find some resistance.
Yeah.
Oracle had an interesting day Friday, gapped up really high and then sold off all day.
I shorted it when we're trading together. Was it nice?
You're talking about Friday, or not today? Friday,
Yeah.
right?
No, last Friday. Yes, indeed. Last Friday I shorted it, indeed. Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nice.
very straightforward price action. Actually,
Yeah, it was just down. Okay, Q's pulling back after trying to push through the SPY or push through the VWAP here. Looks like Apple's maybe heading back down to it's 214 area.
yeah, it's interesting price action. Apple actually for another potential move down. I like this rounding top, low volume. But on the other hand, I don't see enough information yet to make it short. Some of the Bitcoin stocks were also down today, and some of the people had Bitcoin stocks on their watch list, but they look really, really choppy. If you look at Coin, if you look at Mara, really, really ugly, choppy price action. That's not what we want to trade.
Yeah, not good.
Upstart going back to the low today as well. Definitely weaker than the rest of the market. I think it might want to go for another move, but I feel like the risk to reward at this point is not the best. Upstart, UPST. There's a little bit more confirmation would be good. It has been looking incredible weak. The issue is if you go short here, you have to perhaps put your stop loss above 940, candle of 945. There's not a good risk to reward. It'll be like 70 cents in a $30, $32 stock. So perhaps it's going to give now a nice small pullback again, and then another confirmation. Then we can take it short with a better risk to reward. I'm sharing my screen for the people who are able to see it.
Okay, so I'm just got long TQQ. Just play the Qs. They just seem to be ready to break out here. Apple's gone and going higher now. Should have. I was thinking about flipping my position and going long, but it's got an order at 216. Dang. Oh well.
SPY ripping, huh? Smash through VWAP.
SPY bounced up. Yep.
I received a question with regard to Intel, INTC. What do you think about Intel? Don't really feel it for another move up. Even though it could be, but I don't like the entry or the candles, the price action. Or do you not really find it interesting? Or where are you looking
So we
at,
can get,
Brian?
here we go. Here we go. Just sold some TQQ at 22, 66.22. See if we can keep going here on the Qs. Not liking what I'm seeing with NVIDIA. It's kind of rolling over a bit now after it had that big run up. It's pre-market low 116.80. That's where we kind of topped out on this last candle, 116.77.
Intel looking stronger now, INTC.
Yeah.
It's a good looking candle, this last candle.
Orders on Apple are building at 216. I think it's going to go there.
Yeah, SPY just broke high of the day.
Here we go. Here we go. Here comes
Intel also breaking high of the day. Looks like fireworks, SPY.
Yeah, here comes 216 on Apple. I think it's going to hit there. Sold a little more TQQ at 66.30. Oracle, as expected, struggling to get through our 4 here, which is this 168, sort of 60 area.
Yeah. I still think Oracle could make another move, but I think we will want to see more confirmation. Looks like perhaps setting up for another move. Candles becoming smaller, low volume. I think it's still too early.
Yeah.
I think we'll see more confirmation.
Just going to sell some more TQQ at 66.38.
Nice. Congrats. It was a good trade.
Yeah.
Got the momentum with Qs, TQQ.
Yeah, nice reversal. I was a little late on that trade, but still worked out okay.
Intel also solidly trending up. Each candle
Yeah.
making higher high, higher low.
Here we go. So, Apple going to hit that 216 level. Teasing. Energy's kind of making a run up today. Bit of a run up today.
Yeah, I believe the oil futures were up.
Yeah. Yeah, Intel's been on a bit of a steady climb here. But man, it's had a rough ride this year.
Yep. Took by the way, Oracle long a couple of moments ago, a couple of minutes ago.
What's that? Oh!
Oracle,
TQQ. Go, baby.
nice.
Go, baby. Yeah. Just going to sell some more here. 67, 66, 67. What happened there? Oh, do we have some news?
Yeah, it looks like a
Yeah,
very
the
strong
Empire.
move up in.
Yeah, I don't know what the heck happened there. Empire, we had the Empire manufacturing index this morning, but that was 8:30. So old news. What the heck happened there? Megan must be long NVIDIA.
Big position.
Like, wah. Is that a good wah or a bad wah? Hard to tell. Could be he could be short and then going wah, or he could be long and going wah. Unexpected wah. Okay. Yes, NQ. Well, I'm guessing Thor took NQ long off that S6 bounce. Okay, well, I'm almost out of shares with TQQ, but I took a fair amount off on that last pop. So pretty much close to done with that trade.
Yeah, Q is now also above the opening range.
Right. AMD is trying to pop here. Quite jerky. So what does NVIDIA look like? NVIDIA is trying to climb back up here. See what the order book looks like. Order book's got a fair amount of orders to the upside, 119, 120, 121. I'm not sure if it's going to get there. Those could be no intention to fill orders.
I had a question from Jamie if I took only one trade today. No, I took 2 trades today already. Apple and Oracle. Or I might be doubting if it was really that great of a setup. Although AA also made a nice trend
Okay.
today, Alcoa.
Yeah. Okay, I'll bite along a little bit of NVIDIA just on this move up here. Let's see where she goes. There's an order at 118. So
Yes.
not a great entry, but that's why I kept my share size small. But does seem to be trying to break out here. Qs are breaking higher again. Oh, nice, nice. Very nice. So selling a bit. 33, 117.33. We hit that S2 level. That's why I sold some there. AMD's breaking out too.
Momentum is there
Yeah.
at the moment.
Well, now we just this S2 level is sitting at yesterday's, or I should say Friday's low as well. So we are going to get some resistance here on NVIDIA. Kind of anticipated that pullback a bit. Still order sitting there at 118. Come on, NVIDIA, giddy up. Okay, so all the indexes, except for the Qs, are green. Meta's taking a bit of a hit today.
Yeah, from the tech names, MU, Tesla, and Meta are the weakest.
Mm-hmm.
Also, NVIDIA a little bit down.
Come on, we're going to break through here. Break on through to the other side.
You're looking at NVIDIA right now, Brian?
Yeah. Still long some?
Nice. Big
Oh,
order at
Thor,
170.
ooh, that's not good. Ooh, Thor is short. Yes, I don't like that. Big pullback on bit of a pullback on the Qs. Big drop on the SPY. I suspect we just spent too much time at R3 and just couldn't. Made two attempts to get through it and a double top there. Okay, come on. Here we go. NVIDIA.
Oppa, here it is. Bids holding
Yeah.
above 170.50. Good sign.
Opa. Here we go. Need some plates to break. We get to 118.
Yeah, definitely imbalance right on the L2. Big orders at
Yeah.
118.
Here's some orders at 118. Here we are. What about 45,000 shares? Here we go. Come on. I'm selling some at 89. Just take a little more off, just in case we don't get there. The Qs came bouncing back. All right. Chloe took some partial there. Good deal. Good deal. Looks like a lot of our traders in the room are long NVIDIA as well. So nice bounce back there. Nice move back up. NVIDIA never seems to disappoint.
Nope.
Nice trader. Oh, wow. AMD is on fire here. Broken out from, it's broken through Friday's high on that push. Boy, that was a weird drop there a couple minutes ago, 5 minutes ago. Come on, 118. Break on through to the other side.
I think it took a little partial in Oracle. Was still long in Oracle.
Nice. Yeah. All right. Wow. There you go. That was for Megan.
Hoppa.
Nice trade. One of our members, add 0, traded AMD, beauty. Mike J, what'd you trade? Traded ARM. Well, hopefully everybody, you guys out on YouTube are making some decent trades as well. This morning we had certainly had opportunity to jump in here after that initial sell-off. And it just seemed like happened a couple of days last week too. Like we just had this random sell-off at the open, people, institutions, whatever, dumping shares, and then the market came right back up.
Yes. Strength in the market for sure. If you look at SPY on the daily chart, it was pretty. I felt it looked pretty strong. How we recovered last week.
Yeah.
The question is, are we going to make a new all-time high on Wednesday?
I don't know.
The Fed meeting.
I wouldn't be surprised if we get an all-time high on Wednesday, if we get that, if the Fed gives us that 50-point rate cut.
Mm-hmm.
I think if I'm just speculating here, but I'm thinking if the Fed goes quarter point, I think the markets are going to be disappointed. It's just pure speculation on my part.
Mm-hmm.
Because even if you knew what the decision was going to be, if Fed Powell came out and whispered in your ear what, it would still be kind of a little bit tricky to play it. You just don't know how the market's going to react. Are people going to think, well, half point, Fed sees something really bad in the economy, so they have to go half point because it's because things are looking terrible. So I mean, that could be that could be a catalyst for a drop. So anyway, TQQ rolling over, or Q's rolling over. TQQ is dropping a bit now, so I'm almost out of that as well. Nvidia had a little bit of shares left, but
I went out at Oracle now, my last part. Got a little partial. So a little profit in Oracle and then got out.
nice.
Actually, it was my original plan to get out at high today, but I wanted to go for a little bit more.
I'm still hanging in here with these small share sizes on TQQ and Nvidia. I'd like to see if Nvidia can get to 120. That would be really cool. Not entirely confident it's going to get there, but we can hold a little just to set a stop.
Yeah, I like the volume signals in Nvidia. Like this last candle, high volume. The two candles before, the red candles with low volume. That's looking.
Yeah.
At least that's a strong sign.
We're at S3. Again, this is a challenging area.
I also had the Z on my watch list, Zillow group. Z or Z, I'm not sure how to pronounce in what part of the world. But if you look at the candles, I don't really like to trade this type of price action. People can see my screen. We like small candles, big candles, a lot of overlap, wiki price action. Also less than 150k shares traded each minute. Also not nice.
Or just FYI, Oracle has a lot of option open interest at 170. 170 and 167.50.
Right.
And then there's even more at 175. So option market's still betting that Oracle's got more room to run here. And that's for the end of the week here. Okay. Onward and upward Nvidia. Let's go. Oh, wow. Jesus. Look at AMD. Wow. Kicking it.
Look at that. Nvidia also gave a bearish engulfing sandwich in the last 3 minutes.
Yeah.
So now you have some strong signs for the last 6 minutes. Some increasing volume on the breakout. By the way, I just got another question from the chat room. What did I trade today? Well, I traded today Apple for short, and I also traded Oracle. I can share my screen. And both were like small winners. Apple took a partial, got out of break even. Oracle also partial, almost a break even out. So yeah, let's take a look at Nvidia, the stock in play this year. I love that volume in Nvidia always. If you're looking at the candle at 1013, still 1 million shares traded. And that's even for Nvidia on the low side.
Yeah. AMD is, wow. So so extended. The Qs are ready to break out here by the looks of it. Liking that. Yeah. AMD's got some big orders at 155. Wow, Apple had a nice move up there. I just missed that completely. It just bounced and ripped on
Some
some
kind of
volume
big
too.
investor came in or something, or big hedge
Yeah,
fund who decided to buy
on
all
some big,
algorithms
yeah,
triggered.
yeah. That was big. That was a big volume move too, or at least elevated volume. Interesting. Very interesting.
So now Apple also has some room to the long side actually to fill the gap, because now we came back in the daily range. So there might be some more upside in Apple now, but I'm not seeing any entry or whatsoever.
Yeah. Q's tried to test high of day on that really weird push we got and pulled back. So again, okay. Well, now it's we've kind of lost all the big momentum moves, but we can still sit and wait. Just see if the market starts to just trend. Like I said, it's still holding a small size on Nvidia and QQs, but it doesn't look like looks like we're kind of stalling here for the time being.
Yeah, Q is now rejected somewhat the high of the day, the high of the range. But
Right.
it doesn't have to say so much. So I always think the best volatility is directly after the open, and then it diminishes. However, there can still be beautiful trends 60 minutes in, or 90 minutes in, or 45 minutes in. But it's just, we have to look more extensively, we have to watch more critically. The setup has to be better. But the biggest price imbalances are the closer to the open. Also, the Bitcoin stocks seem to have recovered today after the very choppy open.
Yeah.
Upstart never made the third leg, but got bought up also with the SPY. SPY made that very strong move up to 947. Bought up Upstart as well. Zillow Group keeps on trending. I had it on my watch list, Z or Z, but the price action is not that nice to trade. I think perhaps on the 2-minute chart. Sometimes the 1-minute chart is too choppy. I like to look at the 2-minute chart. Perhaps it could have been said something for 10:02. Yeah, continue.
Zed just keeps going up. So it's LRE. It's real estate. Real estate sector is doing well today. It's been doing well for better part of August and into September here. course,
Yeah,
declining interest rates
yeah, lower
helping that.
mortgage rates.
Yep.
With this more lower mortgage rates, it's very positive for these kind of real estate companies. Perhaps in Z, there could have been an entry in the 2-minute chart at 10:02. There, like it we confirmed above at that point the high of the day. We had
Yeah.
small low volatility candles before on the 2-minute chart. We had like the wedge break, high of the day break. Of course, in a stock in play, gapping up on the daily chart. But yeah, hindsight's always easy.
Qs are rolling over. NVIDIA rolling over as well. So,
AT&T also looks strong, by the way. I had it like on sound of a C list this morning because of the daily chart. If you look at AT&T, so this move up, pullback, small
yeah.
candles on the daily chart, gap up. Pre-market finished also strong, but I did not see any convincing entry in the 1-minute chart. But it's looking strong. It's now trading at the high of the day. Actually breaking the high of the day. Sometimes everything can look very strong, but still there could be no entry, right? Because the entry is also finding the balance between the right expected value, the expected win rate, and a very good risk to reward. And also in trustworthy price action, where the price action really shows that you can trust it, that it's clean.
The low of this previous candle on NVIDIA at 117.22 is 117.20 is going to be my stop on this. I'll just put in a hard stop there on NVIDIA for just the remainder. TQQ, wow, had a real drop there, down to 11. That's what I'll use for a stop as well, 66.10. So again, just hard stop there as well. So I'll just end up stopping out of those if we drop down below there. Tesla bounced, came ripping back up here. Came right off the VWAP. Boing. Chris, what you put up there? Custom gap fills. So with the gap up, 78% gets filled. Gap down, 73% get filled. Interesting. Okay, well, I stopped out at TQQ, stopped out at NVIDIA, so I'm all out. Nothing, no positions. Wow, AMD really rolled over. Q's rolled over. Wow, we're back down to low of Friday.
Yeah, below the VWAP trading cues.
Yeah, SPY is at VWAP, and we rolled over, sold off. Oh, did you? Nice, nice one. Yeah, it was a good place to take a short right at S3. That's, as I said, that's the Thor trade. He loves those Camarilla pivot levels. So we'll see what happens here, but we could be just getting into a bit of a choppy day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, just look at Bookmap on Tesla. I mean, we're just we're all over the place here. Tesla's tough trader today.
Tesla really
Nvidia,
choppy,
the book,
right?
book. I was just going to say, Nvidia's book is pretty balanced right now. AMD, maybe a bit to the upside.
What I like about Nvidia is that it's still trading above the opening range, while the Qs are trading below the opening range. So Nvidia is slightly stronger than the rest of the market.
Right. Apple's book is more bearish, I would say. Wow, TQQ is really selling off. That's why you have to have stops. You put your stops in. You get hit, you get hit.
It's absolutely crucial to put stop losses in. It's the market does what it wants. You have the most perfect setup, and it can just fail, and it could also just rip 3% of the stock price if the market wants it. So you need to have the stop losses.
AMD is trying to hold VWAP here.
It's still holding, fighting at the high of the opening range or above the opening range. Also still more or less at the high of yesterday, AMD 105, so 153.03. But actually that's a little slightly below it. But that's a strong sign, right? Because the SPY and Qs are really falling. So yeah, I think the end is nearing, Brian, for today.
Yes.
Awesome.
Who have we got?
Awesome
Somebody else coming on?
We do not have a guest today, so we will be ending at 10:30 for YouTube.
Okay. Okay, no guest today.
I'll be the guest on Wednesday. I'm going to speak a little bit about. I'm planning to speak a little bit about choppy price action, how to distinguish between choppy price action and trending
It's
price
kind
action.
of what we're seeing now. AMD, I'm just watching AMD here, just see if it can hold the VWAP. It's trying.
Also, Intel, by the way, relative strong still. It's still holding at the high.
Yeah. Qs are bouncing back again. Start bouncing back a little here. All right, everybody out on YouTube. Glad you could join us today, and hope everybody had a good day. And we'll be back here tomorrow as always. So until then, enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll see you Tuesday. Cheers, everybody.
Yes. Yes. Thank you all. It was a great trading with you, Brian. Also great trading with all of you.
Yeah.
And I'll be on deck tomorrow again. So we see each other tomorrow again.
Right on.